Welcome everybody. It is March 20th, 2018. It is 6:33 p.m. We're here for a regular business meeting of the Laramie City Council. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please all rise and join me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Gabriel.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
McKinney.
Here.
Palikas.
Here.
Shumway.
Here.
Schuster.
Here.
Stoner.
Here.
Pierce.
Here.
Somerville.
Here.
That's 9 present and 0 absent, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Next item will be a public hearing. City Clerk, can you read the announcement, please?
Notice is hereby given. The City Council will meet at 6:30 p.m. on March 20th, 2018 in the Council Chambers, Laramie City Hall, 406 Ivinson Avenue, Laramie, Wyoming, to take public comments following Z1704, Original Ordinance 1981, application to rezone 5 parcels of land from LM Limited Manufacturing to B1 Limited Business with the ROB residential overlay for business and established the ROB overlay for 1 parcel of land, totaling approximately 12.28 acres, applied for by the City of Laramie, all generally located on Crystal Court. All applications, plans, and specifications related to these matters are available for the review at the City of Laramie Planning Office at 405 Grand Avenue, Laramie, Wyoming. Anyone wishing to be heard should be present or may be represented by his or her agent at the meeting.
Thank you. So at this time, I'll open this public hearing to public comment. Is there anybody that wishes to make public comment on this item? Seeing none, I will go ahead and close that public hearing. City Manager, do we have any announcements?
We do not.
All right, so in consideration of the 150th birthday, I'm going to read a completely random bit of very old ordinance from the City of Laramie. I believe this is a late 1800s ordinance, looks like 1884, regarding wells and cellars. Says, the owner of each and every lot within the limits of the City of Laramie, where there is a well or cellar, shall cause the same to be filled up or closed at his own expense within 10 days after receiving a notice. Must have been when we got city water. Let's see. It is the agent's responsibility to safely enclose such abandoned wells or cellars as they may be deemed dangerous to public or to useful domestic animals. I don't know what a useful domestic animal is. Every person who does not comply and render safe in a manner in the before mentioned shall be fined in a sum of not less than $10 for every offense and failure to comply with an ordinance after a conviction. So apparently, plug up your wells. So, there we go.
You'll sell this too.
Because we do not want useful domestic animals.
In the 1800s, a well might have been 4 foot across.
Right, there we go. So, all right. No further announcements. Go to item number 5, disclosures by city council members. Does anybody have any disclosures tonight? Seeing none, we will go to item number 6, Vice Mayor.
Right, I move that the agenda be set as submitted.
Second.
Second by Councilor Shumway. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Vice Mayor.
I move that the consent agenda be approved and that each specific action on the consent agenda be approved as indicated.
And a second? Second. Second by Councilor Stoner. City Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Gabriel.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
McKinney.
Yes.
Palikas.
Yes.
Shumway.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Stoner.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
Somerville.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 noes, Your Honor.
Thank you. That motion carries. On to item number 10 on the regular agenda. Councilor McKinney, would you like to introduce it?
Move to approve the original ordinance number 1981 on second reading, rezoning 5 parcels of land from LM Limited Manufacturing to B1 Limited Business with the ROB residential overlay for business and establish ROB residential overlay for business overlay on one parcel of land based on findings of fact and conclusions of law. Noting a public hearing was held on March 20th, 2018.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Schuster. Mr. Cotter.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So if you've had the opportunity to look at the attachments for this project, it'll clear up a little bit of the general description on what exactly is happening on these lots. But the rezoning is for the entirety of Crystal Court. If you'll see on one of these zoning examples, 5 of the lots are currently zoned limited manufacturing, while one of the lots is zoned B1. Basically, this ordinance would establish the B1 or limited business zoning on all of the lots along Crystal Court, as well as establish the ROB overlay for all of the lots as well. Currently, the Turner Tract plan does designate this area for a mixed use type of development. Currently, it would not allow for a limited manufacturing zoning because of a change that occurred. So this would actually bring it into conformance with the Turner Tract plan. And currently, the lots have been undeveloped since 2005. So the city is trying to remove any potential barriers to development by getting this rezoning taken care of in case there are any interested parties. So I'm happy to answer any questions. We are the applicant, so we are here.
Fair enough. Any questions for city staff right now on this? Counselor Hanson?
Just refresh my mind. Off the lots, for the senior housing idea, which ones would be appropriate there? I should know, but I'm just trying to remember. LM, where it says, the first 2, right, on the right-hand side?
Mayor and Councilor Hanson, after this rezoning, if it were to take place, any of the lots would be allowed, because with that ROB, it would allow for any of the R3 uses.
Yeah, but we're doing a little bit cart before the horse here. And I just want to know which ones we're looking at.
Mayor and Councilor Hanson, I believe it is the southeast 2 lots. Is that correct? Yes, the southeastern 2
Where it
lots.
says LM.
That's correct. That bottom right-hand corner, as well as the one above it, would be
Good.
combined.
I just wanted to remember, refresh my mind. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for city staff on this item? The applicant has no further comments?
No, I do not believe so.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public on this item? Okay, any other discussion by council on this item? City clerk, can you do a roll call, please?
Schuster,
Yes.
Polikis,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Stoner,
Yes.
Shumway,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Somerville.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you, that motion carries. On to item number 11, Councilor Schuster.
Thank you. The title is Resolution 2018-24, authorizing the award of $187,201 in the fiscal year 2018-2019 community partner funds to the noted agencies. I move council approve Resolution 2018-24, authorizing the award of $187,201 in fiscal year 2018-2019 community partner funds to be noted agencies, and authorization to the mayor and clerk to sign.
Second.
Second by the vice mayor. City manager?
I'm sorry. Council, I'm not doing my part to keep the meeting moving along. Council, as you know, every year you allocate funding to community partners. In the request this year, you had 31 applying agencies, as I recall. Staff had recommended funding be kept level with the previous year, which was a total of $187,201 for the community partner agencies. As you know from reading the cover sheet, that does not include our contractual partners, who are 3 agencies that you award funding to under a fee-for-service agreement. Council, all members of council have submitted their funding award worksheet, we've tallied and averaged the recommended amounts of funding and provided to you a copy of the resolution that you, if approved tonight, will adopt the average council recommendation for funding for fiscal year 2019 for each of the agencies. I have included a couple of late changes that we just received, and I'm happy to answer any questions as you may have.
Questions for the city manager? No questions. All right. Are there any comments from the public on this item? Seeing none. Any discussion from council on this item?
Mayor, did we want to discuss the lines or the proposals that got multiple zeros? Is that something that we've done in the past?
We certainly can. This would be the appropriate time.
Just open that up to see if,
So to, just so everybody has the same information, St. Matthew's Episcopal and the open school both had 5 zeros each, so they don't have a majority of council support on the funding. And then there were a couple others, and I'm sorry, I have a new sheet now that I took all the highlights off of, that had 2 or 3 zeros apiece. RSVP had 1, 2, 3, had 4. Family Promise has a couple, and so on and so on. Vice Mayor,
I
please.
guess I have a question. So are you thinking that because some of them had 5, if that particular item came to us in a singular fashion, it would end up with 0 because it would not have passed? Is that where you're going with that?
I think it's certainly for discussion. If it came individual, it would not pass because it would not have 5 council members in support.
Right,
But we
so-
do these as a group, so.
Right, so I think having given a few zeros on there, I guess that, if that were the case, my vote may be different, right? So, so I'm not sure where we're going with this discussion in terms of, are we suggesting a whole new format for this, or? I mean, I'm fine with the way it is, but.
Counselor Schuster.
I'm fine with the way it is. I mean, everybody has a favorite. Everybody's gonna look at a group and say, okay, I'm gonna fund this one, and this group over here isn't my favorite, so maybe I'm gonna zero it. I tried very hard to give everybody something. Out of all mine, I had only 1 0. But if I knew this was gonna be a discussion, I might have put some more in, I don't know. So, I mean, I think right now we are taking the average of the city council, which I really like, so that everybody can have, and I'm gonna use the word, a favorite, or maybe multiple favorites. You're gonna fund it 100%, and then you're gonna take down some others. There wasn't enough money to go around. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But we couldn't fund everybody at 100%. That's just not feasible.
Well, I think from the point of discussion that's important is, just as long as I've been on council, and I would defer to those that have been on longer, having a sheet with this many zeros is different. This is not something that I've seen since I've been on since 2014, but very on a rare occasion. And I know council had a work session about 6 weeks ago to talk about whether we wanted to kind of put some sideboards on this or not. And we decided not was the venture of council, but I just think it's worth bringing up and discussing. Councilor Hanson?
Pretty much to that particular point, are we all in agreement that all the applicants are what I would call within the format of what could apply for? You know, we had some before where we said they did not fall within the purview of possible applicants. But I didn't hear anything like that. I had a problem with number 3 because I was absent that day, and I didn't know whether that fell within the purview of being appropriate. So that's the one I zeroed out for that reason, because I wasn't sure. But that would be a question I think that we should answer. You know, some of us may feel that where there are 5 zeros, these applicants did not fall within the purview of public funding. So I'd like to have that cleared in my mind, because I'm not sure. And I don't know who could possibly do that.
City Attorney, I'm going to put you on the spot here. In regards to appropriate applicants, can you speak a little bit to Councilor Hampton's question in regards to whether all of these applicants are appropriate, and probably more to the point of what we discussed prior to the meeting about they have to be for the public? These funds have to be used for the public.
That's right.
So if you give me a specific application, I can respond to that. And I don't say that, I'm not trying to brought back, but I mean, each application is on its own merits, and as we discussed, the fact that a religious organization is involved is immaterial if the application is appropriate.
Councilor Henson, do you have specific ones you'd like to bring up?
I remember last time around, we had one religious organization, we'll name it the Episcopal Church. However, what they were applying for was a ramp to get people to the soup kitchen, which is something we support as a civic group. And so we thought they're not applying as a religious group, but rather as a supporter of the soup kitchen. And since we are supporting the soup kitchen, that ramp would make it possible for people with handicaps to access that place. So I think at that time we ruled it appropriate. But I don't know with some of the zeros, are those groups that, for example, would fall within the religious realm or wherever? I just don't know.
Councilor Palakas?
Well, I think first of all, we have the same amount of funding year in and year out. And the number of organizations that are requesting funding increases year in and year out. There's some decisions that have to be made. And some of these, and I think the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, I can only tell you how I went through the process, and that was some of these organizations are very, very important survival-wise for people within our community. And I'm talking about things such as Interfaith, I'm talking about things such as the downtown clinic. There's a lot of them in there. And I know philosophically, I looked at it, and I tried to take the most important organizations we have, and I tried to fund them as high as I possibly could at the sacrifice of, not that these other organizations don't merit, and frankly, they merit in other councilors' minds because they've supported them more than I did, and I respect that. And fine. But, so I made decisions based upon what I thought would help out the community, basic needs as much as possible. And so some other organizations on my chart came up short. And I'm okay with that, and I can defend that because I feel good about what I've done. Now, other councilors did something different, and just because someone got 5 zeros, I don't think that organization doesn't merit consideration, and frankly, 4 councilors thought it did merit consideration. And this is the way we do it. It seems to work really well, and I'm happy with it just the way it is. Thank you.
Basically, I'm too.
Councilor McKinney?
If there are none, then.
Dave was saying, if you look at the average amount recommended at the end, there are no zeros. Somebody got something, everybody got something.
Right.
And I think that's the way it should be. If there were zeros all the way across the board, then everybody would agree that that's not somebody that's standing in the public, that's helping out the public, is doing for the public, that doesn't deserve funding. All these people deserve a little bit of funding. They got a little bit of funding. That's what we have to give, and I think that's where we need to stay.
Agree.
Any other discussion on this?
The only thing,
Vice Mayor?
yeah, the only thing I would add is I think, tough times are upon the city. So, while I agree with everything that's been said, I think we're in an unfortunate situation that we have to recognize our own limited resources. So, yeah, it's tough all over, right?
Any other discussion?
I have a question.
Please.
Are we gonna stay with the average that's at the end of this table
So there are a few changes that were submitted.
because of?
Yep. Yep. And
But-
so we don't have the most updated item, averages on,
But we're gonna stay with the averages, we're not gonna write anybody a 0 just because that there was 5 that
right,
didn't.
no, what is on here is what is proposed right
That's all,
now.
I just wanna make sure I understood that.
Are we good?
This is the most zeros I've ever seen.
That's a lot of
That's,
zeros.
that was, Counselor Schuster, that was the point that I wanted to bring, is that I've never seen a sheet from the council in total with this many zeros in categories, and I think that it is incumbent on us to have a discussion about that, why we're in that spot. Is it financial hardship? Is it because the applicant list is blossoming and blossoming and blossoming? I mean, it is, we're up 10 applicants from 2 years ago, and so that pool, our resources are starting to dwindle as the pool gets bigger.
Yeah, we
So,
can only do so much.
I think it's worthy of discussion. Any other discussion? All right. City Clerk, can you do a roll call, please?
McKinney,
Yes.
Kalikas,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Shumway,
Yes.
Stoner,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes,
Pierce,
Yes.
Somerville.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you. That motion carries. On to item number 12, public comments on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comments? Please come forward.
It's not like 9:30.
It's not 9:30. No, it's not. So for public comments, we need to, the time limit is 5 minutes, and if you can introduce yourself for the record, and when you're done, if you can sign the sheet that's on the media table right there as you leave, that would be great.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and City Council. I'm Jamie Egoff with the Albany County Clean Water Advocates, and I have a letter that I'd like to read to you, one paragraph only, so no worries, that we drafted today at our regular business meeting, March 20th, 2018. Dear City Council, Albany County Clean Water Advocates, or better known as ACWA, urges you to designate $200,000 in the specific purpose tax to fund the installation of groundwater monitoring wells as recommended by the city and county Casper Aquifer plans. The monitoring network would be used to gather baseline data and monitor changes over time. We feel that this money would be well spent to promote the health and safety of our residents. Thank you for your consideration of our request. Sincerely, Albany County Clean Water Advocates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
May I give
If
it
you
to?
can give it to the clerk, she can get us copies.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm a private citizen.
I see that.
I want to give a compliment to the Public Service and the Streets Division for the outstanding snow removal they did, starting on Thursday night and continuing with that monstrous storm. And I know that many people were badly affected by, and the city, I guess, also, offices as well as the county offices, with the power outage. But as far as the general road cleanup, I don't remember seeing it that good, that fast. We came out of the girls' ball game, and they were already at it, coming right down Spring Creek. So, just a kudos.
We will pass that on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anybody else that would like to make public comment this evening? Okay, move on to item number 13, consideration of future council work sessions. It's been a while since we've hit this item. Does anybody have any work sessions you'd like to add to the list? Counselor Stoner?
I don't know if this is the appropriate path for this, but it got brought up to us a while back, the idea of the zoning within the Casper Aquifer needing to be re-examined to reflect the studies and science that has kind of emerged. I know that at the planning level, there continues to be this conflict of, these are the values that we want for the aquifer, and this is what we want to see there. But there's R3 zoning and really dense zoning, and so there are applications that come up, and there are just these repetitive kind of, people are torn. I don't know if that starts with us through a work session. It's just something that I'm generally interested in, so.
Okay.
Well, clarification, and I think I know the answer. You're talking about zoning within the city limits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have support for that?
Yeah, I think it'd be fair to
Review that information.
revisit that, but I think we need to think about post-budget,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe
It's not
June,
pressing, I just.
this summer.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, unless we have an urgent need.
All right, any other work session suggestions from anybody? Okay. All right, upcoming meetings, we talked about that schedule. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Item number 14, Counselor Hanson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move that council adjourn to executive session regarding litigation. This refers to Wyoming paragraph 16-4-405, in brackets A, Roman numeral 3.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned to executive session regarding litigation.